Hello, everyone. Welcome into post-show headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with my fellow football guy, Andrew DeCecco.
Damn right.
Johnny is out today, so Andrew's going to be filling in for post-show headlines. Filled in tremendously on the air, obviously, throughout the course of the show today. We appreciate all of you who've been a part of post-show headlines, liking, subscribing, sending in the questions. We did the listener sending questions on Wednesday. We'll do more of those again next Friday when Johnny is back. But here's what we do. This is Andrew's first time. So he's popping his post-show headlines cherry here.
Yeah, be kind.
5 topics, 2 minutes each, and then we'll move on. We get out of here. So question number 1. I know as the great journalist that you are, you never want the story to be about yourself.
Right.
But I don't think we ever truly talked about this. You were on the beat, right, for Inside the Birds, right?
Yeah.
Covering the Eagles the year they won the Super Bowl. What was it like for you, like covering a team that won a Super Bowl? Because you're not done after Week 18. You're not talking about off-season additions. You keep going through February. So what was that like covering a Super Bowl winning team?
It was extreme. There was a lot of work that was involved with that. You're trying to talk about all the different storylines and different angles that have to do with not just the Super Bowl, but the playoffs leading up to it. There was the Snow Bowl. And then you get to New Orleans. We're doing, Radio Row.
Radio Row,
like that.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest things that I was able to do, and the credit the Eagles for winning the Super Bowl, was being able to paint the picture and do a scene-setting story from the post-game locker room. What I remember, what the aroma was like, what players were doing, what Brandon Graham FaceTiming Jason Peters. It was just a tremendous experience and something that you don't ever know if you're going to get that again. So as a journalist, it's a lot of work. There was a ton of work. I sat down with C.J. Gardner-Johnson's trainer at a coffee shop to get a better idea of his leadership style. All these stones you leave unturned. But then after that, it goes right into the off season. So
right, you don't stop.
There isn't a period in which you stop.
And I get that you're not supposed to celebrate because you didn't win the Super Bowl. I know there are some media members that did partake in some of the celebration, and that's not necessarily looked upon highly.
Right.
But did you, after hitting send on your post Super Bowl mock-up, did you have a beer or something?
I had
you covered that's what I'm saying. You covered a Super Bowl winning team. That's a lot of work on your own part.
I had an old fashioned. I had a cigar, and I'm proud of my work, man.
Yeah.
And it is such a grind from training camp all the way through February, and then you go right into your pre-draft stuff. And I start scouting players around Thanksgiving, so I was really in the thick of things. And you kind of take a second to pause and appreciate the ride.
Absolutely. All right. Question number 2. It's a 2A, 2B. What is something about the Phillies that you think people may have overreacted to during the first month and change of the season? And what is something that you think was fair? And I'll just give you my fair reaction one, the concerns surrounding Aaron Nola. Not that he's a bad pitcher, right? Even though I've never been the biggest fan of his, I don't think he's a bad pitcher. But what I'm concerned about is that lower lack of velocity. He's thrown a lot of innings, which I celebrate, right? I give him all the credit in the world where every 5th day that dude's grabbing the ball and he's going to be a horse for you. But at some point, that's going to add up. Those innings are going to add up, and you're starting to see that velocity dip a little bit. Now, his last couple of outings have been much better, and a lot of people were saying that once the weather warms up, blah, 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 blah. But I do think that's something to sort of keep an eye on as this season continues to progress, because every 5th day he's adding 6, 7 more innings to that shoulder. So what is something that you think was overreacted to or fairly reacted to during the first month and change of the season?
Fairly reacted to the center field conundrum between Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas. Obviously, we both agree that the center fielder, to take them where they want to go, is not currently on the roster right now. I don't think that's an overreaction by any stretch. And also the bullpen. You can't rely on just a couple of guys the whole season or most of the season without getting diminishing returns late in crunch time. So I think that those two are warranted, but I would also say an overreaction would be the bats going quiet earlier in the season. This is such a talented lineup. Eventually they're going to figure it out, and they're starting to.
Yeah, when they came out the gate slow offensively, I think there was way too much reaction to that, right? That they're going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, lineup construction was a big deal, right? Oh, my God, they're moving this guy this way and moving them all over the place. I hope they settle in. Eventually, it looks like they have their left-handed lineup and their right-handed lineup, but for the most part, the bats were going to come back to life. And if anybody's overreacting to Bryce Harper right now, just relax. Take a deep breath, and you'll be just fine. All right. I have a couple of questions that are just now off the cuff. This is when
Sure.
this is when we actually started having fun. You mentioned being in New Orleans, obviously for the Super Bowl and Radio Row. We had a great time. Andrew and I did.
Yeah, we did.
We partied a lot and worked, of course. At one point, you had Barracuda, which to this day was one of the most incredible moments when I heard you order Barracuda off of a menu.
It was like we both won.
It was great. It was a great day. You and I are a lot alike when it comes to trying things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the best way to learn about other people and other cultures is to try things. It's not just about reading and reading history. It's about trying things. Like, John and I had a conversation earlier this week, Cinco de Mayo. He and his wife went out for dinner to a Mexican restaurant. His wife wanted to go to like a hole-in-the-wall, legit Mexican restaurant, whereas John was like, nah, I'd rather go to like a chain. And it's like, but dude, that's the real experience.
Right.
So you are an experienced man. What are some of the cultured things that you have ever done, either eating or just trying something where you learned a little bit more about a culture, or you just expanded your own palate?
Lengua tacos, beef tongue. I'm a huge fan of that, and also kangaroo. I've had kangaroo patties, ground kangaroo that you can get, and I'm not afraid to try anything. I'm pretty easy when it comes to figuring out what I want to eat.
I don't get the people that are anti-trying things,
but I like to just explore and expand my palate, and lengua tacos are have now become a go-to.
They're a big
Barracuda. If I ever see that again, Andrew, best believe I'm going to get it. I was so excited. I was like a kid in a candy store.
That was amazing.
I was like, you mean I can have Barracuda?
Like, I get that there are people that like don't eat meat because they're vegetarian and they have beliefs. So I understand that. If you have beliefs or whatever, but like if somebody offered you kangaroo, why wouldn't you try it?
Yeah, I mean,
like there are people that are like, oh no, I'm not gonna. Why?
Like if I were to have grilled it for somebody and handed it, they would not have known that it was kangaroo unless I told them.
Right, exactly.
Camel's another one. I love camel.
Dude, gator bites. Gator bites literally taste like chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
and if you get the right dipping sauce for it, how can you be anti that? All right. Again, you and I see this is why you and I connect. All right. What is your great day? So we were talking about Mother's Day. My wife wants to do a very low-key Mother's Day, which I'm very happy for, to just hang out and have a great day. What is Andrew DeCecco's, like you have a day off from work. You can do whatever the hell you want. What is the Andrew DeCecco great day?
Honestly, I like road trips. So I would just get in the car and go wherever the car took me. And
really?
I like listening to music, going on a car ride. That to me is mind clearing. I don't have to worry about anything. But if I'm just staying put and I'm doing some different things, probably fishing.
Oh, nice. All right.
And just, listening to music, going to a concert at night, that'd be a perfect day for me.
So wait, hold on. What are we talking about fishing here? Because I fish down the shore. But I just do it. I go around the ocean line.
Cool. Fishing down the shore. There's Marsh Creek near me in Downingtown.
So you'll bring your own rod to a little crick action?
I rent one, but I mean, if I did it more frequently, I would have my own. But I'm just so busy. But I would also say that even going to the beach, a beach day is a perfect day too.
Yeah, the beach day, and you know what? Go by yourself.
I do a lot of things by myself.
There's people that are like anti. Like it kind of goes back to the last thing. Like people that refuse to try things. I love if I'm out on the road. Like I've done spring training before, right? Or for work. And the people that I'm with just felt like hanging out or doing whatever. I'm totally fine going to a bar by myself.
I went to a bar by myself last night.
Like it's nice. Like now I get it. For me it's a little different. I got a 3-year-old, so like getting away is kind of nice. But like when we were in New Orleans, John took a nap after one of our shows. And I was like, I'm hungry. I went to the Copper Monkey Bar and Grill. And just sat. I ended up talking to the bartender, learning about New Orleans, learning more about culture. Like it was great.
Cool was that?
It was an amazing day.
I go to restaurants solo. I'll go to a bar solo. I'll go to the movie solo. I like solitude at times.
Why are people anti-movie solo? You're watching a movie at your house.
You're not talking to somebody.
Yeah, but like if you're at home and there's a movie on, it doesn't have to be anybody next to you.
But like because of what we do for our jobs, we're always being social.
That's true.
And I think sometimes when you have that time where you're able to decompress a little bit, I think that's healthy.
I love it. All right, lastly, you can still see my black fingernails because I was mulching yesterday. What makes you feel like a man? Like me, lugging the mulch and doing the yard work, like that, I earned that beer, right? Like I had an event a couple weeks ago at New Deck Tavern, which is on like the Penn Drexel campus area, right? And there was free Coronas, and I saw 5 construction workers walk in. Like, these guys were dirty. Like, they just came off a hard day of work. I was like, give those guys the free beers because they freaking deserve it.
I like that.
What kind of makes you feel like that, man, where you're like, yeah, I deserve a beer after that one?
After the season that I just covered, I would say, and really just after, like, whether I'm doing a long story where I'm doing a lot of legwork, where I'm talking to a lot of different sources, and you finally finish it, you get good feedback on it, doing a really good show like we just had, and then you're able to kind of enjoy it the rest of the day because you put the work in, you had a good show. I think that is satisfying to me.
What about the housework? There's got to be something outside of your job. I know you're Mr. Football.
I paint and I'll do all stuff
that. Painting, that's good.
That's good, but it always, for me, it comes down to the work and being able to have that satisfaction once you're done the work.
You're the Jalen Hurts of Eagles reporters.
I think
you keep the main thing. You have a standard.
Before anything, yeah. The work
you had an opinion. Well, what's the other one that he says?
You had
an opinion before I had a purpose.
Or I had a purpose before you had an opinion, something like that.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, anything that's going on our YouTube pages, on all the shows, not just Kincade and Salciunas, even though keep on hitting the like button on Kincade and Salciunas. We appreciate it. Everybody have a great weekend. Moms out there, happy Mother's Day. If you are a pet mom, don't celebrate.
Yes.
The day is not for you. All right, Haley was so upset earlier today when I told her that pet moms don't get to celebrate Mother's Day.
Don't hijack this holiday.
Yeah,
it's not about you.
Mother's Day is a very sacred day for moms, okay? And if you are not a mom yet, celebrate your mom or celebrate other moms, any sort of guardian, anybody that helped raise you. Don't celebrate yourself because you have a cat.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day from us.
Exactly. See you guys. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.